The Grand Galactic Council chamber was huge. It was a giant dome floating in deep space. Lights from nearby stars filled the glass roof. Billions of beings from every part of the galaxy were watching the live broadcast. Every major species was there. Every seat was taken, except one. The human seat was empty. The council hall had 100 seats for the 100 strongest civilizations. Each seat showed the flag and symbol of the species. The human seat was made of black steel and glowing blue lights. But now, it was dark, cold, lifeless. A deep silence filled the room. For over 200 years, humans were the strongest voice in the council. They were not the oldest race, not the richest, but they were the most respected. They stopped wars between enemies. They helped poor planets grow food. They shared technology. They protected the weak. When someone had a problem, they asked the humans. When two sides were ready to fight, humans stepped in. Sometimes with peace, sometimes with power. But last year, something changed. First, humans stopped attending council meetings. Then, they stopped replying to messages. Their ships vanished from trade routes. Their ambassadors left their stations. Some members thought it was a joke. Others thought it was just a political move. Some believed the humans were angry because their ideas were being ignored more and more. But now, a full year later, everyone understood the truth. Humanity had left. Not just the council, not just diplomacy. They had left the galaxy. At least, that's how it felt. The current council speaker, a tall and slim creature made of blue crystals, spoke with a soft voice. We must address the human absence. It has been one full galactic cycle. No message, no contact, no explanation. The council members looked at one another, some with worry, some with confusion, some with quiet fear. A small figure stood up. His feathers were dark green, and he wore a long coat made of thin metal threads. His name was Regal, ambassador of the Varnic species. I have something to share, he said. His voice was calm but serious. Something I found. On Earth. Gasps echoed across the chamber. Earth was now off limits. Human space had been marked with warning signs and defense drones. No one was supposed to enter it. But Regal had gone there in secret. I found a hidden room in the human embassy, he said, behind a sealed wall. I found this message, left by their last ambassador. He pulled out a small hologram device and placed it on the table. A simple human voice began to speak. Calm, tired, cold. We tried. You chose greed. Now face the galaxy without us. That was all. The voice stopped. The light turned off. The silence returned, deeper than before. Regal stood still. No one said anything. Even the speaker had no words. Outside the chamber, across the galaxy, billions watched. On every screen, every translator gave the same sentence. We tried. You chose greed. Now face the galaxy without us. The meaning was clear. Humanity had not left because of pride or power. They had left because they gave up hope. For 200 years, they had tried to unite the galaxy. But greed was stronger than peace. The council kept voting for profit. The strong kept crushing the weak. The humans saw it all, and they walked away. And now, without them, everything felt wrong. Trade had become harder. Fights between empires were growing. Pirates had returned. Many species were scared to speak up now. The balance was broken. Regal looked around and asked, "What do we do now?" No one answered. In the days that followed, council meetings became shorter. Many members started missing sessions. Some even left the council completely. The galaxy was starting to shake, and everyone knew it. Something dark was rising, and the one species that had always stood between order and chaos was gone. The council was falling apart. Ever since humans left, the meetings had grown quiet. Fewer members showed up. Old allies no longer trusted each other. And out in space, danger was growing fast. Two great empires, the Torgan Dominion and the Ivrak Swarm, saw the chance they had been waiting for. For years, these two powers wanted to control more space, more planets, more resources, but the humans had always stopped them, sometimes with words, sometimes with powerful fleets. The Torgan hated humans for that. So did the Ivraks. Now, with the humans gone, there was no one to stop them. And they moved fast. The Torgan sent warships into the border systems. They said it was for protection. But soon, those ships started taking over stations. Ivrak's fleets began attacking small colonies, burning cities, and taking slaves. The weak planets cried for help, but no one came. The Council only sent messages. No fleets, no force. Without humans, their words had no weight. Regal watched from his home world of Varnic 3. His people were peaceful scientists, not fighters. But he saw the news like everyone else. Entire planets under attack. Refugees fleeing in broken ships. TFOS signals going unanswered. He felt helpless. One day, he received a private message. It was from a small mining colony on the edge of Torgan space. Ambassador Regal, please help. They are coming. We don't have weapons. We trusted the Council. We trusted the humans. The message ended with static. Regal felt anger rise in his chest. But who would help now? He wasn't a warrior, and the Council was powerless. So he made a decision. He took a small ship and flew to the last known human colony, New Horizon, located near the Orion Stream. It had once been a busy place, full of trade, culture, and unity. Now it was silent. When his ship landed, he found something strange. The city was not destroyed. It was empty, clean, like the people had simply walked away. No bodies, no signs of panic, just quiet. In the main square, there was a tall tower with a single light still blinking. Regal walked inside and found a control room. Dust covered the screens, but one console still worked. It asked for a code. He tried the human ambassador's old passcode. It worked. The screen lit up. A final message appeared. We warned you. This galaxy chooses war over wisdom. We have taken our people to a place where greed cannot reach us. Do not follow. If you do, you will not like what you find. Regal felt a chill down his spine. Humans didn't just leave. They planned it. They left on purpose, quietly, carefully. But where did they go? He searched the city for more signs, but found nothing. No maps, no trails, just one more note on a building wall. This is your galaxy now. Save it or lose it. Back in the Council, things were worse. The Torgan had taken over 3 more systems. The Ivraks had destroyed a trade route, killing thousands. Still, the Council argued about rules and votes. One member shouted, "Where are the peacekeepers? Where are the fleets?" Another said, "Without the humans, we are just talking." And they were right. In the past, human ships had stood guard at every major gate. Their presence alone stopped violence. They had powerful weapons, but used them rarely. Just knowing humans were watching made others think twice. Now, with their eyes gone, everyone acted without fear. Regal returned from New Horizon and tried to speak to the Council. "I visited the human colony," he said. "It's empty. Not destroyed, just left behind. They warned us. They said not to follow. But I believe. They are still watching." The Council laughed. One member said, "Watching from where?" "A ghost planet." Another said, "The humans are cowards. They ran." But Regal shook his head. "No, they didn't run. They moved. They prepared. They gave us a chance, and we failed." His words were ignored. That night, another attack came. A science station near the edge of Ivrak space was destroyed. No survivors. Just one recording was found. The voice of a child, crying, "Please, someone help us. Are the humans coming?" But no help came. And across the galaxy, one question grew louder in every heart. What happens when the last protectors walk away? The galaxy was burning. The Torgan Dominion had taken over 5 more systems. The Ivrak swarm was spreading like poison. Small planets, once safe under the Council's watch, were falling one by one. Refugees moved in broken ships, searching for safety. Pirates returned. Trade routes were full of danger. Everyone had the same thought now. We need the humans. But the humans were gone. Even the Council had stopped pretending. Some members left. Others stayed quiet. Only a few still tried to help. Reekle was one of them. He flew to a small planet called Vexra 9. It was a farming world with no armies. For years, it had been protected by a human-built defense system. No one had touched it, until now. Torgan warships entered orbit and demanded the planet's surrender. Reekle arrived just before the attack. The people were scared. Families were hiding. The local leader, a young woman with tired eyes, looked at Reekle with a weak smile. "You are not human," she said, "but maybe you can still help us." Reekle had no weapons, just his voice. But as the Torgan ships prepared to fire, something happened. The sky turned red. Old towers, built by humans long ago, came alive. Energy lights began to glow. Shields rose around the cities. The human defense system, quiet for years, had activated. The Torgan fired, but every missile hit the shield and vanished in light. Then the towers fired back. Blue beams of energy shot into the sky. In seconds, 2 Torgan ships exploded. The rest turned and fled. The people cheered. Reekle stood still, shocked. The human tech still worked. But after the battle, the towers powered down. A message appeared on the main screen in the control center. This defense was a gift. You used it once. There will be no second time. We are not your guardians. Reekle read the words again and again. He spoke to the local leader. "What do you know about these towers?" She shook her head. "The humans gave them to us a long time ago. They said it was insurance. We never touched them." That night, Reekle sat under the stars. He thought about the message. The humans had left tools behind, but only once could they be used. It was like a parent giving their child a last warning. "This is your final protection. Use it wisely." He sent a report to the Council. No one replied. Far away, on a dead moon near the outer edge of known space, a scavenger team found something strange. They discovered an old human research outpost. Inside, they found computers still working after 20 years. On one screen, an AI voice began to speak. "If you are not human, stop. This message is not for you." The scavengers ignored the warning. They tried to hack the system. The lights flickered. Then the AI spoke again. "We built peace, but peace cannot live where greed rules. You did not listen. So we left. But we still see. We still hear. And if you bring war to our door, you will meet silence." And then, nothing. Then all the screens shut off. One scavenger turned to the other. "What do you think it means?" The other looked at the stars. "I think they're watching us." Back on Varnic 3, Reekle spoke to an old friend, a historian named Salik. "Where do you think the humans went?" Reekle asked. Salik opened a star map. "There are old stories. Tales from explorers who went too far into the dark zones. They say there are systems with no names, planets that don't show up on maps. Some say they saw ships there, black ships with no flag." Reekle leaned closer. "You think those are human ships?" Salik nodded. "I think they built something out there. A place where the rest of us cannot reach. A home, far from our noise. But why leave everything?" Reekle asked. Salik looked sad. "Maybe they gave up. Or maybe they're waiting for us to prove we deserve their help." Reekle felt a cold wind blow through the open window. He looked up at the stars. Humans had not just walked away. They had planned this. Carefully, quietly. They left warnings, left tools, left signs. But they also left something else. A message. Do not follow. And yet, Riekl knew he had to follow. The galaxy was dying. The weak were being crushed. The council was broken. He made a decision. I'm going to find them, he said. Salak grabbed his arm. If you go, you may not come back. Riekl nodded. Then I'll leave a message of my own. War had become normal. The Torgan Dominion controlled almost 1/3 of the galaxy now. The Ivrak swarm took planets like a fire across dry land. Billions were dead. Billions more were running. The council was silent. Once powerful empires were now fighting to survive. But something strange began to happen. The Torgan fleet entered a system called Delta 11. It was rich with gas and metal, perfect for warships. The Torgan leader, General Korak, ordered full control. But when his ships arrived, they found nothing. No cities, no resistance, just silence. Then, one by one, his ships went dark. No explosions, no distress calls, no signals, just gone. Within 40 minutes, an entire fleet of 80 warships vanished. Korak escaped on a scout vessel. He sent one message before his ship disappeared too. We were wrong. It's not empty. They're here. The council received the message days later. Most ignored it. Some were confused. But Riekl knew what it meant. He had left Varnik 3 in a stealth ship. It had no weapons, just fast engines and strong scanners. He flew toward the Orion Dark Zone, a place with no trade, no travel, no light. The map called it dead space, but Riekl believed it was something else. He searched for weeks. Then he found a signal. It was weak, old, buried deep under static. But he cleaned the data and found a simple human code. If you are still searching for us, stop. You must not come further. But Riekl didn't stop. He pushed deeper into the dark zone. His ship began to pick up strange readings. Energy fields, invisible satellites, and something big in the distance. Something massive, hidden. He found a planet. But not just any planet. It was covered in metal. Giant towers reached into space. Thousands of ships floated silently above it, like watchful eyes. It was a human world. A hidden one. As Riekl's ship got closer, red lights blinked on his screen. Warning. Do not approach. He sent a message. My name is Riekl of Varnik. I seek peace. I seek answers. For a long time, there was nothing. Then a voice replied. A human voice. You should not have come. Back in council space, chaos spread. The Ivrak swarm attacked the Krolan Empire, once a strong force in the council. They destroyed cities, ate populations, and left nothing behind. But then, just as fast, the Ivrak stopped. They didn't retreat. They vanished. A council scout ship went to investigate. What they found shocked them. Ivrak's warships were floating in space, empty, cold, not destroyed, but shut down. Some had strange cuts in the hull. Precise, clean. Inside, no bodies, just silence. A message was left on the command bridge of the Ivrak's flagship, written in human standard. This is your second warning. The message spread fast. The galaxy whispered, humans are back. But no one saw them. No ships, no soldiers, no announcements, only ghost attacks, silent strikes, enemies vanishing. Riekl sat in a white room on the hidden planet. A human stood across from him. She had gray hair, sharp eyes, and wore a plain black uniform. We warned you not to come, she said. Riekl bowed his head. I had to. The galaxy is falling. We need your help. The human said nothing. He continued, the council is weak. Billions are dying. You can stop it. She looked at him carefully. "We are stopping it," she said, "but not for the council, not for greed, not for war." "Then, for what?" Rikel asked. "For balance," she said. "We left because your leaders chose power over peace. Now, we remove the ones who break the balance. Then you'll help." "No," she said. "We are not heroes. We are not saviors. We are correction." Rikel didn't understand. The human stood. "Go home, Ambassador. Tell them. The age of giants is over. The destroyers will fall. And if anyone still thinks war is the way forward, they will disappear too." Rikel was taken back to his ship, his systems rebooted. He was launched out of the dark zone, without control. He awoke near the edge of council space. His ship was unharmed. A message blinked on his screen. "You saw too much, but you meant no harm. Be the voice of warning." Rikel returned to the council and spoke to the few members still there. "The humans are not gone," he said. "They built something far from us, something strong. They are watching, and they are acting." Many laughed. Some listened. But then the Torgan capital was destroyed in a single night. No ships detected, no warnings, just silence. And then, a burning moon. A message appeared on every screen across the galaxy. "You had your chance. Balance begins now." The galaxy was shaking. The destruction of the Torgan capital was not just a loss. It was a warning. No one saw the attack coming. One minute the Torgans ruled with fear. Next minute, they were dust. Across the stars, news spread fast. Humans are back. But they were not returning like heroes. They were not waving flags or calling for peace. They came like shadows, quiet, deadly, powerful. Everyone who had once mocked humans was now afraid. In the council chamber, only 7 members remained. Most others had left or been killed. The once great room now echoed with fear and confusion. Holoscreens blinked. Reports poured in. Pirate fleets gone. Swarm queens missing. Weapon factories erased from orbit. All with the same calling card. Balance restored. Ambassador Rikel stood before the others. He had returned from the dark zone. He had seen the hidden human world. He had heard their warning. "They are not here to save us," he said. "They are not here for revenge. They are fixing the galaxy, their way. Then we must stop them," a lizard-like counselor hissed. "You can't," Rikel replied. "You won't even see them coming." Another member, an insectoid named Vuer, buzzed in fear. "Then what do we do?" Rikel looked tired. "We change, or we vanish." On the mining moon Corellisate, a warlord named Trath ruled with fire. He owned thousands of slaves. He sold weapons to pirates. He had no fear. Until the night the sky turned red. Trath watched from his palace tower as his own gunships exploded without warning. His guards screamed. A black ship, shaped like a blade, floated above the city. No sound, no lights, just presence. Then a message came through every speaker. "You fed on the weak. Now feel their silence." In seconds, every defense system failed. Every ship shut down. And then, nothing. When the sun rose, Trath was gone. So was his army. The slaves were free. The black ship had vanished. But a symbol was burned into the moon's surface, visible from space. A single human handprint. Across the galaxy, reactions were mixed. Some leaders ordered their fleets to hide. Others tried to find the humans' hidden world. Some begged for forgiveness. But the humans said nothing. They just kept removing threats. Not with armies, not with speeches, but with quiet power, precision, and silence. Rikel sent a second message to the hidden human world. He begged for answers. This time, he got a short reply. "You had centuries. We gave peace. You chose power. Now we choose silence. Watch and learn." He showed the message to the council. Some still didn't believe it. But then the Ivrax queen hive disappeared. The entire swarm, gone in one night. Sensors showed nothing. No heat, no movement, just empty tunnels. A single message was left behind. No more feeding on the weak. In a small system near the galactic edge, a child from a forgotten planet asked her teacher, "Who protects us now?" The teacher, an old alien named Roten, replied softly, "Once it was the Council, then it was fear. Now, maybe it's the humans, or maybe it's no one at all." The child looked up at the stars. "Will they come here?" Roten smiled. "Only if we do something very wrong." Riekl continued spreading the message. He visited fallen worlds, helped rebuild where he could, and spoke to survivors. "Change your ways," he said. "Treat others better. Protect the weak, or they will come." Some listened, others didn't, and one by one, those who refused vanished. In the shadows of space, the human fleet remained hidden. Silent ships, cold eyes. They were not angry. They were not kind. They were something else now. Balance. They had left peace as a gift. The galaxy rejected it. So now, they were correcting the mistake. Not with war, but with removal. And across every star system, a new phrase was whispered. "Behave, or the humans will come." The stars were quiet. Planets that once echoed with screams were now calm. Pirates had vanished. Slavers were gone. Warlords no longer ruled. The galaxy was changing, but not because of war or peace talks. It was fear. Fear of silence. Fear of a shadow. Fear of humanity. Riekl stood on the broken world of Tarnis 5. It was once ruled by the Vark Syndicate, a brutal gang that controlled 3 systems. They had laughed when the humans returned, said it was a lie, said no ghosts could touch them. But now their cities were rubble, their fleets dust. No one had seen the attack. No one heard the weapons, only silence, and the same message burned into steel walls. This is not revenge. This is balance. Riekl sent his final message to the hidden human world. He spoke not as an ambassador, but as a witness. "I have seen what you do. I understand now. But what happens next?" This time, the reply came not as text, but as a voice. The same calm, firm human voice he had heard before. "We will leave again, when the galaxy learns to stand on its own, without blood, without greed. But how will we know when it's time?" The answer was simple. "You won't, but we will." In the Galactic Council, only 3 seats remained filled. The others had been destroyed or abandoned. The survivors, small species, peaceful ones, had started rebuilding. No more armies, no more threats. Instead, they helped each other. Old enemies now shared water. Rivals helped rebuild schools. It was slow, painful, but honest. And in every room, on every wall, was a new symbol. A white star with a single human handprint. Not a flag. A warning. In a quiet corner of space, an alien farmer named Koru planted seeds with his daughter. She asked, "Why do we live in peace now?" He answered, "Because the monsters are gone." She looked up. "And the humans?" He paused. "They're not monsters. They're reminders." Reminders of what? Koru smiled. "That peace is a gift, and we only get it if we protect it." Back in the shadows, on the metal-covered human world, the ships powered down. The voice spoke one last time. "They are learning. Slowly. Maybe this time, they won't forget." And then silence. No attacks. No more warnings. Just stars, and the quiet watch of human eyes. Years passed. The galaxy changed. Old crimes returned, but smaller, weaker. When they did, small voices rose to stop them. Not fleets, not armies, just people. They remembered the stories. They remembered the silence. They remembered the handprint. Riekl, now old, gave one last speech. He stood before a new council, not built from power, but from peace. He said, "Humans taught us peace once. We ignored them. Then they gave us fear. But in that fear, we found truth. And in that truth, we found ourselves." The room was silent. Then, slowly, one by one, everyone stood, not in fear, but in respect, for the ones who left, for the ones who watched, for the ones who never shouted, but changed everything. Humanity. The end.